Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to your essential detox. I am Pearl and my lovely co host.
Ebony.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome in. Um,
We
again,
got
how you doing? Yeah, we do have a lot of stuff to talk about.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm doing good. Uh, I'm tired, and I'm always tired. It's just adult life. Always tired.
yeah, I think once we get it together, like those pieces of the puzzle start fitting in, it'll become a little easier, you know. Um hopefully so anyway. Cuz
Yeah,
like I said, I just can't believe that it's just meant this type of struggle for the rest of our lives until we
yeah.
get married. So, but definitely adulting is it's like a everyday thing, like it's something new every day. It's nothing constant, it's nothing consistent, and you just doing I want to say like yeah, you kind of like going through the motions sometimes
Yeah.
because you don't know how your day is gonna go. You could be fine, then next minute a curveball gets thrown at you, and then it's just complete and utter chaos.
Yeah.
So being adult and literally for all of our viewers and listeners who are maybe be of the teenage, early 20 age, it is not for the weak of heart. Like you
No.
may have like plans planned out or something like that, but it doesn't always
And then something happens.
you're right. It doesn't always entail that those plans are going to go the
You
way
better
you
have
plan.
some, and you better have something on the side.
Right, some backup plans, contingency plans, ABC to go along with your main plan because it like it is and don't get us wrong, y'all. We like being adults as
Yeah.
far as like with the freedom that it comes, and we don't have to answer to anyone. We can do what we want to do. We're living our life the best way we can. But in all honesty, if I could go back being a kid again, living with my mom, her paying all the bills, having all the responsibilities
Look.
that come along with it, I would do it in a heartbeat. And the crazy thing is we're not like we don't have no husbands, nor do we have any children. I can't even imagine how that would be compounded on top of all the other shit that we have to deal with.
It's one thing to have a husband
Right.
because you're not taking care of this all by yourself.
Right.
So that would be a welcomed
It would be, but
invite.
it would be.
That would be a welcomed invite, a welcomed help. Thank you.
But if you throw a kid in the
But
mix,
when you throw them kids in there,
you are responsible for a whole nother human being and hoping that you don't screw up.
I think I needed more than just one, and they by themselves, and I'm like, how?
It's a struggle. Like I know the struggle because my mom
Mm-mm.
was a single parent of
Mm,
me alone, and it was hard. And your mom had you and your brother,
yes,
so that's an extra mouth
and
to
that was
feed. That's an extra clothes you got
girl,
to
that was
buy,
early
extra
hard.
school supplies you got to think about.
Hard.
It's
And then we in two different grades.
yes,
He's 3 years older than me. Like, girl, it's girl, just
a lot.
oh, girl, oh,
It's it's a
whew.
lot. It's a lot. Oh my goodness.
That's why I'm so glad that I get to do my life right now
Hmm.
without children. Not
Yeah.
that I wouldn't love them and I wouldn't take care of them because I would. And oh my God, I would, just oh my goodness. But I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I've done and live the life that I've been living had I had kids. I wouldn't have
Mhm.
been able to go on the cruises and go out of the country and be able to have when I did have extra money,
Mhm.
I would have been able to have that to buy things and have experiences um like I do now. I mean, and yes, I'm very much so young. I'm only 32. That's fine.
Have you ever got
But
like strange looks from like people, especially men, when they ask you if you have kids and you don't, and you tell them your age, like that's just a foreign concept. Like, yeah, I'm 32, 33. I don't have any children. Like it's I have. I
well,
have.
the thing is, number one, I haven't necessarily talked to a bunch of guys, and the guys that I have talked to, um, it's been on dating. It was on dating apps.
Mhm.
So when they ask me if I have kids, and I tell them no, because they already see my age, because I
Yeah.
don't lie about that. I mean, how I can't see dirty looks because we messaging each other. So I mean, they always be like, oh, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "No, whether it was I'm 29, I'm 30, I'm 31. I don't have any kids."
I
And they
think
be
we're
like, "Okay, cool."
I
And they be
think we're
like,
like
and I ask them if they have kids, and I be like, "Okay," because I
yeah.
mean, I've dated. Let's see, I've dated one person that has a kid, and I was totally fine with it. And I was like, hey, if you don't ever, I was like, I don't have to meet your kid. I'm totally okay with that
Mhm.
until you're ready. If this ends up to be a really great relationship for the both of us, and it's and you're like, I love you, and I really, I'm in love with you, and I really would like for you to meet my child. I'm like, okay, cool.
I think we're living in a generation where a lot of um men or women are like setting that boundary of when they want to have children, or if they
Mhm.
don't want to have children. Like I've
Yeah.
always been on the fence per se. Like
Yeah.
right now I recently turned 33 a couple of weeks ago, and well, actually not a couple of weeks, but last week. And
Uh-huh.
I don't see myself having children. Like I just
Mhm.
don't see it in my plan, in my future. And I'm not sorry about it. I have some people say, well, you may, think different later on in life. Okay, if that's the case, then that's the
Right.
case. But
Yeah.
right now, I just can't see it. And it's purely selfish. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's purely
Right.
selfish. I want to live my life. I don't
Yeah.
want that responsibility. And that's okay.
Mhm.
I've heard somebody, well, what's going to happen when you get old? I said, well, having children is not a retirement plan. you
Yeah.
know, it's
It's
not a
not.
it's not a
Because
retirement plan.
baby, them kids will make the decision to put your ass in a
It's in a
nursing home.
home, exactly. So, it's I can see where for some, it's fulfilling and rewarding and stuff like that, but I just don't I just don't see it. I can't.
I've always seen myself I've always wanted to be married and have kids since I was a little girl.
Married, yes, kids.
That is
kids.
always met like, but for me, it's been married and kids. That's what I
Yeah,
always wanted.
I don't want to be nobody's baby mama.
As I've gotten older and really truly started seeing my life without children
Mhm.
and going through the struggles that I've gone through and I'm currently going through,
Mhm.
I don't want to put no child through this. That is the most selfish shit.
Yeah, cuz you're not
And
ready.
I
You know.
don't care if I was like, I don't if I'm with somebody and during that time, like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it by myself.
Exactly.
Now it's one thing if I'm married and the man dies.
That's
Okay,
different.
then I okay, whatever. Then of course like there's already gonna be a plan for moving forward.
Right.
In case I die, in case he dies. But if I'm just dating somebody and then they leave, nah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want if I decide to have children, I want to be married and have children.
Mhm.
I don't want to be nobody's baby mama.
Nope.
I don't want to do that. And I'm not saying that even if it does happen, the father will be like deadbeat or anything, because not all men are the same. But I just don't want that drama behind it.
I'm gonna be honest. If I
Nor do
was,
hold on, nor do I want to date. I've never dated a man with having kids. That's like that's a no for me.
I
Now,
mean,
if we just click in jail and we
mhm,
soulmates, that's one thing. But I preferably I don't want to really just date some or marry someone who who have kids. If you like if the kids are like 15, 16, in their teens and that's
mhm,
cool. Little ones, not so much. I would be like more like because I don't want to, and even then, still, I would say I wouldn't want to be like that stepmother who just wants to try to be all in their face, like, okay, I'm your
mhm,
mom now. That's not the case.
mhm.
You have a mom.
Nope.
I'm your stepmom. I'll let you set those boundaries. Like, if do you want me to
Mhm,
take a more maternal role with you, or do you just want me to be a friend, or not? It's whatever you want to decide.
mhm.
Because to me,
Yes,
honestly, it don't matter because I can be control
yes.
whatever you need me to be.
Now, I will say this: when it comes to doing what I ask you to do, oh, you gonna do it.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna do it, especially if you living in my house.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Whenever, like, but
especially if
you
you
know,
living in my house. If
no,
I ask you to clean this
you
room,
gonna do
wash
that.
these dishes,
You,
do
you
your
gonna do.
laundry,
Mhm.
yeah, you gonna do what I say to do.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
I'm not
fine.
gonna ask you to do anything unreasonable. I'm not gonna ask you to do something that I don't do or I haven't done when
Yep.
I was your age.
Mhm. Yep.
I'm not gonna be unfair. I'm not gonna exclude you from like family vacations and stuff like that because that would
Mhm.
be wrong on so many levels. And I've heard about people doing that. No, but
Yes. Yeah.
you gonna follow these rules.
Thank you. But for me, I'm gonna be honest, and this is very probably a very unpopular opinion. But if I was to break up with somebody and they want to talk about a co-parenting situation, I would like, okay, but I'm be honest, you gonna have, I'm like, sir, you have full custody.
Girl, yes. I agree
Sorry,
with you. I
I would like, I would
let's
take
make
them, I would
let's
take
make
them
this
on
a
the weekend.
reality. Let's make this a reality because not all the time moms have
No,
to have full custody.
baby,
Even
no,
like
you're gonna have full
especially
custody, and I'm
especially if
gonna
I
tell
get
the judge, this is what I want. I don't
exactly
want to have full custody, either, or even if it's joint custody, you still gonna have the majority of the time.
needs to be
Because I mean,
yes.
even though they came out my body and I love them, mm-mm.
Let me tell you something full, like really full blown, very unpopular opinion. If I ever get pregnant, now, especially how I feel right now about having children and how the laws are working, of course, yeah. And, the father was like pushing for, maybe I might be saying I want to do just give the baby up for adoption. And it was like, I'm pushing for it, like, I'll take care of it or whatever. Yes,
Okay.
you're going to have full custody. Yes, I will pay child support. Hell, I'll pay over child support.
Mm,
I will get my child every 2 weekends out of the month. I'll be at every game, but no, ma'am, no,
mhm.
sir, I will not have full custody. So don't come talking back to me, go taking me to court, telling me she's never there. And this, like, I told you what the deal was when we got together. Like, I never
Mhm.
hide that from any of my
But
partners. Like,
guess
I
what?
don't want children.
But guess what? When I'm pregnant, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the judge and put myself on child support
All
and
the
be
time.
like, full custody. Be like, yeah, I still do have parental. I still want
I'm
parental
not
rights
gonna
because
sign
I
over my
want them
rights.
available.
I'm not gonna sign over my
No,
rights.
no, 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 no.
But
But no. And
like if
I
I've
was,
already told you what the deal was, please don't expect me to be more like I thought. I thought her maternal instincts was gonna kick in.
I mean, and the thing is, just because I'm not taking full custody of the child doesn't mean I don't have maternal instincts.
Right. Doesn't mean I don't want to be in your life, but I just don't.
I
I
don't
don't want
want to take care of
to
the
take care
baby
of it
full
full
time.
time.
You do.
You already knew this from the jump. Like that's just my
I
unpopular
mean,
opinion.
we
I
talk
saw
about
a
it.
TikTok about the same thing that we're talking about. Like she didn't want kids at all.
Hmm.
And so when the baby was born, of course, he got full. The dad got full custody, and like he took her back to court and was complaining to the judge about the same thing, like no maternal instincts. I thought that she was gonna change her mind. The woman literally said, "I'm not a mother. I'm a surrogate." Talking about you a deadbeat mom. She's about how am I a deadbeat mom? I'm just a I'm just a surrogate. Like she
You
was
know
paying
what this
child
was?
support the whole 9 yards. She even signed her rights away. Like, look, you're the one who said you wanted this child. You said you didn't want it. Like literally, I'm a surrogate. And that's what a surrogate is. She had no problem paying the
I
child
had to
support,
stop.
made her
You
payments
gave me
every
money,
month.
I gave it to you. I signed my rights away. Why we in court?
What that's what the judge said. Like, why are we here?
Baby, this child is your you
But
wanted
see,
this.
that's what
You
happens though.
wanted this. And oh no, because you want to go out there and do some whole shit.
Right. So now you really feel like how other women feel when they're left holding the bag. You don't
Yeah,
have
no.
no time for
Now,
yourself. You can't
mhm.
do this, that, and the third. Yeah, that happens to women every day. Reverse
All the
Uno,
like, thank
reverse
you. There
Uno
are
plus
more
four.
women, there are more single mothers than there are single dads.
Hmm.
And my thing is, and the thing is, now understand this, y'all. Just for me, I'm not saying any of this simply because I want men to pay. That is
No.
not what this is. Or I want them to see how, women feel being single mothers. No, that is not what this is at all. I'm simply saying that selfishly because I enjoy my life the way it is. I
Hmm.
enjoy being able to not have children in my home, not have to worry about finding childcare when I want to go
Which is
wherever I want to pick up
unreasonably
and go.
expensive.
I I don't want to. I don't want that responsibility.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and yeah. Who knows what the future holds? But right now, I don't want that responsibility.
I don't.
So for me, I mean, and even if I was to get with somebody and we're all in love, and we have a child and we're both here taking care of it, and then something happens where we don't work out, the conversation's gonna already be had. Hey, you're gonna be the one. You're gonna be the full custodial parent. I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm not doing it.
I'm
And
not.
if you think you gonna run, and if you think you gonna run, I will find you.
Hmm. And I hate it when you set those
Sorry.
ground rules and boundaries in a relationship. Like y'all both agree, okay, yeah, I don't want kids or whatever, and then later on, one of y'all, either yourself or him, talking about I want kids. Well, no, we already discussed this from the get go. We said we didn't want kids,
Mhm.
and then try to pressure that person into doing it.
Mhm.
Then they
'Cause
cave
my thing
in, and then to do it, and like really, you don't have no You just was in love with the idea of having it,
yeah, and honestly, for
and
me,
that's detrimental to the child. Like you don't want to do
yeah,
that.
and it's crazy because as I get older, there are moments when I flip flop. When it's like I can see myself with kids, and I think it would be a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
And I do have moments where I have baby fever, where I'm like, I think, we really, want to have a kid someday. And then there's moments when I look at what my life is like right now and how I'm so unsteady and unstable, and it's like, why the fuck would I want to put a child through this?
Right. That's
Like
like
I'm
such a
struggling.
unneeded. You struggling yourself. Like that's such an unneeded
And
stress.
then I mean, because the thing is, I'm barely I'm able to feed myself, but I gotta turn around and feed you too.
Right. Like
And
Nisi,
now that's
honestly,
because food where I could be feeding myself, I now have to feed you. I'm not gonna ever neglect my child. Like
right.
that's
Never.
not gonna happen. But to look and be like, okay.
You got to make those tough decisions.
And it's like I already like literally the past 6 months, I've been struggling like a motherfucker. Being in between jobs, being with one job and my client caseload is always low and it's flip flopping and just all kinds of shit happening. I'm I'm tired. want to. It is extremely stressful to be thinking to literally have to budget out every dollar, every quarter, every nickel, every dime, every penny of my money. It is the most stressful shit I've ever done. And most people be like, oh, 2020 was my worst year. No, 2022 has been my worst year
Mm.
because I have struggled on top of struggle on top of struggle on top of struggle. And I'm tired. And I would have hated to have a kid going while I'm going through this or
Hmm.
be pregnant going through this. I would have been like, God, forgive me. You knew I was going to make this decision.
I
And I
honestly,
would have been like, unless you, and telling the God, unless you going to take care of this baby, this was about to happen.
like, honestly, if I were to get pregnant in my life right now, how I see it, I would not be happy. And that's just the honest to God truth. And I live in that. Like, I would not
Mhm.
be happy about it
Nope. I
at
would not, girl, I would not
all.
have a baby shower. I
No
wouldn't be,
gender
I wouldn't be
reveal.
telling baby.
Like,
I would not be telling
I'm
nobody.
not.
Mm-mm.
I'm not happy, and like you would have to. And honestly think, especially when the child is born, you honor because you knew the space that you were in. You really just wouldn't have that full connection with the child as you supposed to. Like you would go through, like, yes, we're feeding, changing,
Mm-hmm.
doctor's appointments. You're doing what you're supposed to, but as far as like that emotional bond that you're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
have, I
Mm-hmm.
honestly can't see me having it. And I'm not, and I own up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do
And
want
you
to
know
say
what?
this though. Hold on. I do want to say this to everybody who's listening and watching. We Ebony and I, we are not, and we don't dislike children. We actually
Oh
love
God, I
children,
love kids.
and we
Yes.
have like very good bonds with children. It's just that something
Mm-hmm.
that we don't see ourselves right now having,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just being truthful and honest and walking in our truth about what we would go through if we had kids at this point in our life. Because honestly, we're just now starting to figure out how to take care of our damn selves, really.
Girl, I'm still,
Still, even
still.
if we're both in our 30s, it's just it's a still constant thing. And you know what? I honestly think that it's okay that we're at that point where we're
Mm-hmm.
still trying to figure this thing out.
Cause
I
baby,
don't
my mama say all the time to me and my brother, y'all ain't gotta give me grandkids. And when people ask if me and my brother had kids, my mom's like, no. Mm-mm. And I'm like, what? Mm-mm.
why
Baby,
not.
you
I hate when
know,
people ask like that. Like, why don't you want, because I don't. I don't have to explain myself to you.
baby,
Be
my
having a child is not gonna make me any less of a woman.
and then my only living grandmother, love her to death, but she have her moments when she would, mention that she would like to have great grandchildren. Well, when my daddy decided to have two kids when I was 20 and my brother was
There they
22,
go right there.
baby, there they go right there. Granted, they are technically your grandkids, but they are young enough to be my kids, them your great grandkids right there.
Exactly.
Enjoy it because
Enjoy.
you
Bon
have
appetit.
the only way you gonna see them might only be through death.
Like, I feel like
It ain't no harm, but
if
ma'am,
I ever
number
have children,
one, God needs to send me somebody where I can have kids with. Because I'm not
yeah,
about to just be out here just
having
fucking
kids,
anew and
exactly, having kids
hell
every
no.
which way.
No, I'm
No,
not gonna be
ma'am.
nobody baby mama.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Mm-mm. And
I
so that's
feel like
why
I'm gonna be like that
no.
40-year-old taking
Yeah,
my kid to
I
kindergarten
really feel like
first.
I'm gonna be I feel like yeah.
Kids, like, my
I,
mom
yeah.
didn't have me till she was 52. So, it's honestly, if I get to a certain age, and it's just not gonna happen. Like maybe adoption is up in the and if I so choose to do it. But as far as we get older, the risk of high pregnancies
Girl, but
and
I'm gonna be honest.
preeclampsia and all these type of I just
Girl, I'm
you
gonna be honest.
mm-mm.
If I wanna adopt, if I do end up adopting, I'm gonna get an older child.
Yeah, I want it.
Cause I mean, oh, those older children they need love, so
They do.
I'm gonna give one. I'm gonna
They
give
do.
maybe one or two, and be like, hey y'all, come on in, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's bond a little bit before let's kind of be together and bond a little bit, cause I need to make sure, you know.
Are you talking
But
about like a trial run? Let's do a trial run. Once you sign
I
the
mean,
paperwork.
well, no. Well, no, this is before I sign our paperwork.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Can
gonna
you even do that?
I think so,
Hmm.
to make sure that we connect and
Okay.
that that there's gonna be that respect factor of understanding. I'm choosing you. I'm choosing to take care of you. I'm choosing to give you love. I'm choosing.
Hmm.
And in my
Okay.
head, I realized that all of these things may sound horrible to other people, but frankly, I don't care because when you want to adopt, that's a choice.
It is a choice.
You
It
are
is a
choosing
conscious
to
choice.
bring a child that you did not birth into your home
And
and
love
give
that
them
child
love.
unconditionally and like you birthed that child.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know. But I'll say this: I think that because you know me, I'm more emotional than you are, bro.
Hmm.
Um, I think when I'm pregnant, when I feel the baby kicking and moving and doing all kinds of stuff,
Hmm.
it'll definitely be real to me.
Hmm.
And I see myself and I know like I would flip flop and change and be like, oh my God. But I'll be like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
girl, this really me. Because I'm over here talking all this shit, but it's good. Oh my God, my baby, I love you so much. You know I am.
I know. I know.
But when that baby come up at me, oh no,
You don't know about that.
oh no, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I mean, I honestly think that after a while, the baby gonna piss me off because it's gonna be screaming and crying. It's gonna do one.
That's
It's
that's
gonna
what
be one,
babies
maybe
do.
2 nights. That
That's
baby,
what babies
the
do.
baby ain't gonna go to sleep when I
That's
want it to go to sleep,
that's
and when
what
I need it
babies
to go to sleep.
do.
And this is why
That's what
I
babies
think of
do.
these things, and I'm like. I mean,
That's
I'm
the
not gonna
lie.
do it. I'm just gonna put the baby down, and I'm just gonna let it sit there and cry, and because I
A
can't do
infant,
it.
a infant, you can't just let it.
Because I'm gonna be crying too.
Be crying right along.
And guess what? I'm not going. I'm not the first year of that child's life. If it's me and my husband,
Girl, it sounds like that's already postpartum depression.
I'm gonna work. Number one, I will not be working
Oh no.
because I work with I help people heal from their mental and emotional issues and their traumas past or current. um One thing I'm not gonna do is work the first year of that baby's life.
Oh no. I think that's
after
actually something that a lot
after
of parents should think about because they feel like you're building that bond and that relationship anyway.
Mhm. And the thing is, if I'm going through postpartum, because I know me, I will. Because I mean, I already deal with depression and anxiety anyway.
Yeah.
And then I got this little baby over here screaming and crying and yelling because something wrong and I don't know.
You don't know because it's not as though they born with
And
a
then it's
booklet.
like, I'm checking to see if you colic, if you got gas. Like I'm doing
Need a
everything
diaper
I'm supposed to
change,
do.
and yet you still crying. Like, what's wrong?
And then you just not gonna go to sleep.
I'm
You just
holding you. You done been
I'm doing it.
fed, clean,
I done put you in
diaper
the
change.
vibrating
Like,
seat
what's wrong?
and
What
you
literally
still
what's
wanna
wrong?
cry.
What's
So
wrong?
now I got to try to put you in the car.
Try to drive you around so you can
You
go to
better damn
sleep.
well believe who ain't gonna be up by themselves is me. Cause I'ma
No,
kick my husband and say, wake your motherfucking ass up. And he better get his ass up and be like, I 30 minutes, there you go. If you can get the
right.
baby to sleep, great. But
I
we
just
go
need to
30
decompress.
minute intervals
I
in
need to
your house.
decompress.
Whoever get the baby to sleep.
I need to
That's who's gonna
decompress.
hold them the rest of the night.
Yeah, I need to decompress. I agree with
And
you.
especially if I am, and I mean, there's just so many things. But all in all, we kind of wrap this up. Y'all, we did not plan on talking about this.
No,
I
we
don't even know
didn't.
how
I know
we
we
even
even
get
get
on
on
this
this. We've been
subject.
talking about this for like a good 30 minutes.
How did we even get on this? But either way, but that's one thing that I love about having podcasts. You can talk about anything you want to.
Yeah,
You
whatever
know,
come to mind.
yeah. But I just, I would end my portion with saying this. I love children. I've always loved children. I've always had a special bond with children, and I love it. Um, However, just looking at where I am right now in my life, having children just would not be beneficial. Even if I was in a great relationship, it still just would not be beneficial for me right now. Not saying that I will never have children because I hope one day that, when I find that special someone and I'm married, that I will have children and that I will be happy and give that child a happy life and do all of that stuff. But until that happens, um I'm enjoying my life. I'm doing my best to enjoy my life. Um, I'm I if anything and everything, I know for me, I need to be in a much more financially stable, mental and emotionally stable set of mind. I need to be more stable. And once I'm at that point where I am more stable and I'm in a relationship, and yet again, I'm going to continue to stress being in a relationship because I'm not getting pregnant and taking care of children by myself. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
The person would literally I would have to create, like, the person would have to die and I cremate them. Because you can't just be like, oh, I died, and then the closed casket. Nah, mm-mm. I need proof that you did for real. And I would say, well, it's cheaper to cremate them. Because but that really mean you did, you know?
So my last thoughts about this is
Yeah,
that honestly, I do like children. I especially love infants. I don't know what it is, but I love infants.
they just so cute.
I love infants. It's
When
when
they
they get
start
to
learning how to talk to
those
people,
toddler stages and they start running and moving and being more active. That's when I don't know. But I've always seen myself getting married. Never seen the kid portion. Like I said, I just can't see it. Maybe I'll change my mind later on down the line. Maybe I'll start feeling that what was that old term that they used to say, you start the baby fever or whatever like that. Who's to say? But as of right now, it's a no for me. I don't want
because
children.
maybe if I have a child, you might see this child, you may see and be like, oh my God, I want a baby.
And then I might just live vicariously through you. Without me having to go through the 9 months and the morning sickness and the cravings. Right? I could also do that because we both said that we were going to be godmothers to our children. I don't need to have children if you have children. I
Yes, the
have a child.
fuck.
I have a child.
Cause guess what? Who I'm gonna be? Like you have to have one kid so that I can be that kid's godparent.
Do I?
Pearl, how else?
I'll get a dog. I already got it's already planned out. It's already planned out. Yeah.
I can't.
So anyway, moving on.
Please.
um in later news, Queen Elizabeth been going on to glory. She'd have been Amazon primed up to be with the Lord. She'd have been she'd have been Amazon primed up. She finally with Philip, Prince Philip. And honestly, I didn't think she was gonna last long after Prince Philip died. To be totally honest, although in retrospect, before Prince Philip died, he already looked like he had 2 feet in the grave anyway. Before he passed away, like he looked like he'd been dead for a couple of years now. But she finally went home. She finally went home to be with the Lord, and if she did make it to heaven, I'm pretty sure her and Diana was probably waiting at the gate because they had some words to be exchanged.
I'm like, are we sure she with the Lord?
I said if she did, fun fact, and I looked this up, Ebony.
Mhm.
There are 192 countries in the world.
Okay.
Great Britain did not invade or conquer only 22 countries. So we have
They
192 in the world.
and they only invaded and conquered 22.
No, they didn't invade and conquer 22.
Oh, they did it.
And they probably tried and they didn't win, but only
So
22 countries was not colonized by Great Britain, I should say, put it like that.
how many of them did they actually like?
All you gotta do is 192 minus 22, and that's that's the chance right there.
Okay.
So that's like
So,
one, that's like 170 something.
so they so
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
conquered 170,
Or colonized. Let's just use the word colonized.
colonized 170 countries.
Hmm. Some of them have broke away, but initially,
Okay, because that's why I'm like,
yeah, initially, like a lot of countries have broke away, have gotten free. Like it's like for America, the original 13 colonies, they were up under British rule.
girl, I've been
Canada,
waiting for people to
Canada,
talk
I
this
didn't,
back.
I didn't know until she died that Canada was still up under the British rule. I was
Hmm.
like, girl, what?
Hmm.
One
Hmm.
of my one of the islands that one of my coworkers, um, Dominica, was still under British rule, and I think Jamaica got their independence back in 60 something. But pretty much like everybody who's in those countries, you know, I thought that Black Twitter, we don't take shit seriously, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, but Irish Twitter, did you Irish Twitter? You saw that video I sent you, right? Like they was at the football game, y'all. And for the y'all those and they're like over in
She been
Ireland, football
about
is like
she
soccer. Yes, and it sounded so harmonized too. It actually sounded good how they were singing, but if you listen to the words, Lizzie's in the box. Oh, Lizzie's in the box. Like, Y'all
They
chill.
hated her, baby. They if hate
Y'all
was a
chill.
film,
Then you
if
had
it
all the
was an
Caribbean, the Caribbeans was like, you know, um,
But as I would say, this one of my favorite actual reality TV shows. So I just Dancing with the Stars.
mhm,
The head judge, Lynn Goodman, is he's British.
uh-huh.
Girl, I saw so Dancing with the Stars premiered on Disney Plus, and they are the first live stream show for Disney Plus. And I think it was like towards the end, um, or something like that, where he thanked America for our kind, sweet words
I don't know an
for
American
the
that had
Queen.
any. I don't know any American that
I
had any
and
type
girl,
of
you gotta let you know that, and
maybe
I was like,
the president, but for the
and I
rest
was
of us, like for okay, so let's just be clear, y'all. And y'all who's listening, and if we have any like international from over in Britain, those countries or wherever, y'all, America don't we didn't care about the Queen dying. Y'all, we drag our own politicians.
thank
What
you.
makes you think?
We not gonna drag yours.
What makes you think that we not gonna do that?
She,
We had like there's a lot of people that I saw like on Twitter and TikTok saying that we
baby,
need to be
baby,
like people
Biden be kidding it.
need to be more respectful. She was a mother and a grandmother. Okay, okay. So I'll be respectful in this instance. Okay. So Queen Elizabeth was a mother to at least one pedophile, and she was a faithful cousin to her husband for many, many years. There you go. And those are just facts. Okay. Honestly, I didn't think the old girl was ever gonna die. I thought she was immortal. Now I will say this because I've been like following the whole thing since she passed away. And I saw like, the line in state when her kids guarded her body, her four children, King Charles III, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. I did feel for them because especially Princess Anne and King Charles III, they looked like their whole world had been rocked. They just looked like they were lost, so my heart does go out to them for losing them. Excuse me, for losing their mother. But I can't. I can't really just feel anything where your mother was a part of colonizing, different countries. And a lot of people argue will say, well, that wasn't Queen Elizabeth. She was just a figure. It had to do with Parliament. Okay, but she was a queen. She could have said something. And yet, your family benefits and still benefits off of that. Like one of her castles worth $1 billion. So I don't know. I just like I said, I honestly didn't feel anything. I was just shocked when I found out that she passed away because I thought, like I said, I thought the old girl was immortal. I thought she was gonna be here. And I give kudos to her too that she was the longest reigning monarch that Britain ever had. She reigned for 70 years, and I don't think nobody's going to top that. Like King Charles III will literally have to be 145 in age to beat his mother. But you know I can honestly say I just didn't really care.
I
I
mean, for
just
me,
didn't care.
for me, I'm not a history buff like you, and I
Hmm.
don't, research stuff when people die because I don't care. Um, I only really just wanted to look at the TikToks and the things
Oh,
that
TikToks was sending me.
we're doing, and these TikToks, there were many of them that sent her to glory hilariously.
Yeah. So
But for me,
why
the
not make
one
fun,
that
like make people laugh
just,
in death?
the one that just had me like, y'all hate Y'all
I,
hate.
I saw one lady. She looked like she from India. She straight up said at the end of a video, "Fuck Queen Elizabeth and the royal family." I was like, "Tell me how you really
The hate.
girl." Like the crown, it was so much stuff coming out. Like the crown jewels, but that was stole from India, and then one another jewel was stole from South Africa. It's just I don't know. And people are I've heard rumors because Prince Andrew, he's a whole pedophile, and the firm, that's what they call the royals, the firm, they been hiding his little shit for years, for years. Now I don't know if it's true or not. This is just something, like I said, I heard through the grapevine that King Charles III is supposed to restore his titles, and I'm like, why in the blazes of fuck would you do that? But I guess I don't know. It's too much incest going on because pretty much everybody in the royal family is related to each other anyway. So I mean, Queen Elizabeth and her own husband, like I said, they were co-husbands for many years.
They were husbands.
Co-husbands. That
So
was her co-husband. Prince Prince
husband,
Charles was her. I mean, Prince Philip was her co-husband.
a husband.
Yeah. Ugh.
I was waiting for you to go. I was waiting, girl.
That's
You
nasty. Like I roast our former president Roosevelt. He was married to his fourth cousin Eleanor Roosevelt. That's You know what? I'm not gonna get on that because that could be a whole rant for me. That could be a whole rant for me.
know,
So I'm just gonna
you
end this part saying, Lizzie is gone. Long live King Charles III. Uh, may you have a successful rule. I don't know how long you're gonna rule because y'all already 75. Because mother was not relinquishing that seat with nobody.
she
Um,
died in the.
Camilla, Camilla, now the Queen concert. You are, I guess, living proof that side bitches win. And yeah, I'm done. Did you know that bitch was at the wedding when then Prince Charles and Diana got married? She was in the crowd. Hmm. See,
Prince
I've been
Charles
researching this
died.
shit. I was researching this shit when she passed. Yeah, she was in the crowd.
Prince Charles was Princess Diana's
Husband. Yeah. And so when they got married, she was in the crowd. And check this out. Here's another tea about this royal family. Camilla, she was married before she got married to Charles. Her married name was Boyles or Balls or something like that. But anyway, Prince Anna, King Charles' sister, dated Camilla's former husband. Then she married somebody else, and Camilla married him. But, but, former husband is Prince Anna's godfather. It's a lot going on, but like I said, it's too much. They try to cover up shit, but shit, what's done in the dark will come to the light. Will come to the light. But like I said, Camilla, she's now the title for her is Queen Consort because she married into the family. So if Charles dies or he relinquishes his throne now to the Prince of Wales, which is Prince Williams, she will not be the Dowager Queen. She will just, I think something, I forgot the title, she'll be whatever. But she's the Queen Consort. And again, she's just, side bitches do win sometimes, y'all. Not all the time. But they do occasionally, they do win. So yeah. And
name.
shout out to Prince Harry and Princess Meghan of Saxon for holding it down these 17 days. They were only supposed to be in London for 4 days for a charity event, but his grandmother passed. So, shout out to them. Shout out to Princess Meghan for holding her man down. You did your thing, Queen. I don't care what nobody say. They some
Yes.
hate ass folks over there. They don't like you because you're black. And I'm gonna put that out there. They don't like her because she's black. And I think it's been like a really transparent moment for her because she literally said she never knew what it meant to be black until she married Harry.
Mm, 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 mm.
So, but a shout out to Prince Harry for protecting your wife. You're one in a
Mhm.
million,
Yeah,
and don't allow anybody to tell you anything wrong. So
yeah.
that's my take on about Lizzie going to glory.
So I don't got no take. I just was like, I heard about it and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
cool.
yeah, okay, all right, cool. And then I started getting TikToks
I was
from Zero Pearl.
yeah,
And
girl.
said,
I
oh,
was back.
let me look into this a little
I was
more.
in the back back.
And I I stayed up laughing.
Yes, because
I
they were
stayed because
hilarious.
it's soon. These content creators be on it.
Look, Lizzie wasn't even cold yet. They probably gave like a 30-minute grace period, and then they just went in. She wasn't cold yet.
Like
Rigor
soon,
hadn't set in. They was just,
soon as it hits.
and then you had like a lot of those English creators talking about we were being disrespectful, like a lot of Americans and a lot of other people being disrespectful about it. But I feel like why would you try to negate somebody else's experience, especially for these countries that have been up under the British rule for so long? You know, why would you try to negate their feelings? They're entitled to feel how they feel. Like I get it that she was a mother and a grandmother and a great grandmother, but and talking about give respect to the dead. Hell, Elizabeth didn't give no respect to the living. So I don't have no respect.
What has she done for me lately?
Exactly. Like she ain't did shit for me.
Mm, yeah. Dun, dun. What has
So
she
yeah.
done for me lately? Not a
So yeah.
goddamn
But yeah,
thing.
moving on.
Yeah.
Um Ariel is now going to be played in the live action and the Mermaid by Holly
Halle,
Holly
Halle,
Bailey. Okay,
Halle Bailey.
okay, her. And I'm excited. I'm excited about it. You got a lot of white people upset, but
Baby,
let me tell you what
Disney is upsetting motherfuckers, and I
they're gonna be
love it.
stroking out because not only is she playing mermaid, her got the role for Bella in Cinderella. And then another black lady who I cannot think of the name, but she's going to be playing Tinkerbell in the live action of Peter Pan. I cannot think of her name. It starts with a
I
fucking
hadn't
Y.
heard of that, but yeah.
Yes,
So in celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Beauty and the Beast, the amazing her is going
yes,
to be playing Belle, and
yes.
baby,
It's gonna be
Disney
good.
is upsetting these white
You know
motherfuckers,
what? And you know why?
and
You know
I'm
why? Let me tell
living
you
with
something. You know why? Because they're realizing that this skin color is not enough to get them a role.
them.
You're gonna have to come with something else. You're gonna have to come with a little bit more sauce. And plus, the director of the Little Mermaid, he chose
Hallie,
Holly,
say Hal
Hal,
Lee,
Lee, Howley,
Hallie.
Howley. The director
Yes,
chose her personally. And I have a clip. I got two clips actually that I want
okay.
to play. One is from the director, and the other one is from one of my favorite actresses, which is Melissa
Melissa
McCarthy.
McCarthy. Yes,
She's gonna
girl. What
play
she
your
said,
she was who will be playing Ursula.
baby. What she said. Oh,
So
what she
this
said.
yes, this is from the director Rob Marshall.
Saw everybody, and ironically, who else did you see? Can't say that, but we saw everybody. But I will say that Hallie was the person we saw, first person for this role. I had seen her on the Grammys, and I asked if she could come in to see if she could, do this. And I remember at the end of her singing this song, "Part of Your World," that we just heard her sing today, I was in tears, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, she's so deep and so emotional and so beautiful." She set that bar very high, and then no one ever crossed that bar. about her.
That came from the director, the director, and
Started
Melissa.
Yeah,
playing
sure.
Hallie's version of the song. Don't cry. Don't do not cry right now. I had a truly, really not weird reaction, just overwhelming. It's so beautiful, and it's from such a like it's just different. And she's that girl has got roots down, and like she sings from her heart. And when I heard it, there were like seven of us that just burst out crying. Wish I could be part of that one. Just started.
Who would you think would be better for that? See, when we play a role in a movie, the content of the movie does not change. We can play Ariel, we can play Belle, we can play Tinker Bell, and
Yeah, we already did Cinderella.
right with Brandy, and the trajectory of the movie, the concept of the movie does not change. You cannot have a white person play Tiana in Princess of the Frog. It's
Sorry.
not gonna make sense.
No. Girl,
It's just
that gave me chills. That just and that run that she did. Oh
girl,
my
girl, I felt like I was in church with that little run right there.
girl, ooh, ooh.
So I'm happy for it.
I can't wait, baby.
I
I
cannot
can't
wait. I'm gonna be
wait.
living through childhood. And like the videos that I saw of these little black girls watching the trailer, it was so
It's
heartwarming and
saying like
moving.
she's
Seeing
brown.
that exactly, seeing that representation that I can probably be a princess too. Well, and then you go, well, it's not possible because the original Ariel was white. Look, I'm not gonna
It's a
debate nobody.
cartoon,
I'm not
fictional.
gonna I'm exactly I'm not gonna debate about a mermaid being white or black because mermaids do not exist. Now, if
And
you
then
want to go to be technical about it in history, because as Pearl said, Ebony said, I am a history buff. The original history context of mermaids starts in the Caribbeans. Okay, and I'm pretty sure if they did exist, they were black. Anyway, mermaids don't exist, y'all. A mermaid can be purple with polka dots. A mermaid can have tiger stripes, zebra stripes. Y'all are mad because they have yet again, you have a black woman playing this role as a mermaid. Then it was an issue about, well, her hair is not the right color. I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. Okay. Your take. I'm done because I like again I could go for a rant.
Playing.
What was your take? Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm listening.
you know, I said it and I say it again. Disney is
Love it.
making these white motherfuckers mad, and I'm here for it because grew up watching Little Mermaid, watching Cinderella, watching Alice in Wonderland, watching Beauty and the Beast, and all I see is like. And I mean, you don't think of nothing about that when you were a kid.
No.
You think about it. And, you know, um, it wasn't until we got a bit older to see a cartoon princess be black.
Hmm.
Yeah, but during the movie, yeah, she was a goddamn frog. But okay,
But
okay.
we knew she was black. We saw her in the beginning. We saw her in the beginning.
Because baby, and just a little side note, the only person who can play a live action Tiana is going to be Anika Noni Rose,
Oh yeah,
who
most
voiced
definitely.
Tiana.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I don't
Ain't
think that
nobody
there
else.
is
Ain't
a
nobody else.
voice to match that. I just don't think there is. And
Oh,
I said what I said.
side note.
Uh,
Disney also they like you said they pissing people off. I don't know if you've seen Pinocchio, but
and
um but the fairy in Pinocchio that grants the wrist or whatever, wishes or whatever, she's black and she's played by shoot, the I can't think of her name, but you know the one who played singer I've been walking, her. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, her. Yeah, she's a fairy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Pinocchio. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I'm watching that shit tonight.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Go ahead. um, but look,
Okay, so if we are now no longer in an era, in a generation, in an age where everything needs to be white.
it doesn't have to
There
be.
are so many people that live in America. There's so many people that just simply live in this world that, but specifically in America, that we need to see ourselves. And it doesn't just need to be on our channels like BET and all of that. Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
our children, that these kids that are coming up, they need to be able to see themselves
Yeah.
in these TV shows. One show that I fell in love with when it came out was Doc McStuffins. You got this little black girl, this cartoon, little black girl, black mama and daddy. Mama's a doctor, and she is a doctor to her toys.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I was in my 20s looking at that and like, wow. They just celebrated, and what they did was the way that they twisted it was on Hulu, but I think they did it on Disney. They did
My dad
a
told me
30-minute show where they celebrated her being 10. They did her 10th birthday and had, some live people come through and help her plan her party. Most beautiful thing ever, girl. I sat here right before I had a client and looked at it and just cried and was like, wow, this show been in existence 10 years. Little black girls have still been able to see themselves for 10 years. Now, here's caveat.
What's the caveat?
I did grow up in the 90s, person where my mama had cable. Um, and I saw black families. Like, I don't know if you're familiar, Pearl, with Gullah Gullah Island.
Mm-hmm.
It was a show that came on either Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. But, I did grow up seeing people that looked like me, but if you didn't have cable, then you wasn't going to exactly see it. So, but now to be in a generation and in, an era and an age where now, whether you got cable or not, you can flip on the TV and see somebody that look like you doing
Mm-hmm.
the news, sports casting, male or female, coaching, being a Disney princess, being a Disney prince, like whatever it is, you can turn on anything and see people that look like you. I cannot wait for all this stuff that Disney is coming out with.
And yeah,
See
and I
all
just
these black people.
I just want to add to that, especially with what Disney is doing. It's not so much of their blackness while they're being hired, y'all. It's because of their raw talent. The
Yeah,
blackness is just is just a bonus.
Yeah,
They every last one of these women who have been hired for
they
these
just have
roles
talent.
are talented
Period.
and
Just
have
don't have to do
Grammys. They are at the top of their game in their industry.
Mhm.
Them being black is just a bonus.
Yeah.
I stand by like what I said. You can't have a white person playing Tiana in Princess and the Frog. You cannot have a white person playing Mulan. It's the
Oh,
story is not going to be the same.
just
So
a
it's
white person in China. I'm sorry, and not saying that they not there, but for for where it's placed,
the story how the story is. It's not going to
no,
work.
that's a no for me.
It's a no. It's a no.
No,
But
I
like
mean
I said,
there's
I
just
can't.
some things that is just like
It
no,
doesn't make sense.
no,
Make it make sense.
and if it's going to depict history, it's a no for me.
Okay, so like Beauty and the Beast, when they did the live action and they had Emma Watson
Hmm.
play her. Now in the original, we all know that Emma Watson is British.
Hmm.
In the original Beauty and the Beast, it should have been a French woman who played that role.
Yeah,
Okay, but I'm just happy that we're getting more representation, and I'm glad that
I
people
really
are
do.
seeing the talent that we possess.
I mean, and not just us, just talent that,
Anybody a person of color has
yeah, just any person of color. Like, we are
because
some
it's
talented
there.
motherfuckers, like, we are.
Exactly.
Like, it
Exactly.
ain't just, white people ain't the only ones with some kind of talent.
But they've been dominating the industry for so
Hell
long. It's
yeah.
hard to
But
relinquish
it's,
that control.
yeah, but guess what?
It is what it is. You're just gonna have to give it up, baby.
And
You have
the
to make
thing
some
is,
room at the
people
table.
know that they gonna protest. Go ahead and protest. Go ahead, do your thing.
We
Do your
don't
thing.
care.
Go ahead,
We
do
don't
it.
care.
Don't matter to me. Um,
But yeah.
quick little side note.
Hmm.
Have you seen The Woman King?
Not yet.
I
I have.
haven't,
I've seen
but
like some
honey,
mixed reviews.
what
That
I
is
am hearing,
that is really good.
I'm hearing that it is great,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of people mad. But anyway,
Okay. So, you want to talk to
yeah.
what did you want to talk about?
This next topic touches
Near and dear to your heart.
very because
What's your
I
intake? What's your opinion about it? And then I'll give you mine.
because I am a black therapist. So there's
Hmm.
this black female therapist that has a really great presence on TikTok, and she makes videos about mental health and people getting help. Well, one particular video, she talked about black men not having any emotional regulation skills and not knowing how to you know express their emotions, and that they needed to get therapy, which I do agree. However, the way she went about it, I didn't necessarily like. It was cringy for me because I was like, "You gonna say that? And you a therapist for it? That's what we don't say it like that." Okay, girl. Okay. And now of course I'm looking at this after the fact of her being fired. Now here's the thing. I do not agree with the fact that she was fired. I do not agree with the fact that the black woman who wrote a an article about her
Yes.
her personal information, I would have found that woman and beat her ass.
Why
Because
do
how fucking dare you put my personal
when does this
information
happen?
there?
Why does black woman need to tone police another black woman?
My thing is, even though you said all of what you said, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking dare you put my personal information in there? My phone number, my address, where I work.
So unnecessary.
And so then now my job. So now people are calling my job,
My
complaining
livelihood.
about what I said. You are fucking with my money.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, nah. I don't care. We as black people need to stop thinking that, oh, we gotta do this shit. You could have easily messaged that sister and said, hey, what you saying, like, I get it, but maybe find another way to say it because you're still a professional in this world. That is the way that you take that. You don't go out and slander this woman and
Right.
then put her personal information in your article, bitch. Who the fuck do you think you are? So my heart goes out to this woman simply because this woman is receiving death threats. She's had to change her number. She got fired.
Yeah.
However, I mean, in the people that she was helping to heal and grow, she can't even, I mean, unless they have, insurance or they're able to afford the services, which I guarantee you they aren't able to afford private practice services. And no, and nothing against them because I totally get it, but I feel horrible for them because now the person that's been helping them get through whatever their problems, their traumas, and things like that, they don't have that person anymore. Because black men and black women, y'all got a problem with how somebody expressed her thoughts about black men needing to get therapy.
I
And
definitely go
I
ahead.
mean, it's just I get you having opinions, but when you take that opinion and you get this woman fired from her job, and people want to be like, well, no, it's the woman who wrote the article. No, it is the I was like, it's not just the woman who wrote the article. It is the people who had all that negative shit to say about her, who cussed her out, talked about her like a damn dirty dog, and gave whoever gave the woman who wrote the article her personal information, fuck you. And the woman who wrote the article, fuck you too. Because how fucking dare you do that to somebody?
Did you read the
But let
article?
me find. No, I didn't, and I don't care. Because at the end of the day, because I mean, hell, at this point, like, I mean, maybe I should read it, but even still,
That might get your blood pressure
yeah, and you already know I deal with blood pressure issues. But my thing is, even still, how fucking dare you put her personal information out there? Because now you have given these hateful motherfuckers the ammunition they needed, and
up.
they used it, and she got fired, and it pissed me off. And I was like, wow. Could she had said, what she wanted to say better in a much better way, of course. And even in me seeing the original video, and she mentions, her own hurt and things like that from, from being, hurt and rejected by men who weren't able to tap into their emotions and express them. I get it, but my thing for her is you shouldn't have came out like, I mean, I get the message, but it should have just been, it shouldn't have been you calling them dusty and,
Yeah.
whatever else. Nah. If you had just kept calling them niggas, okay, cool, whatever, do your thing. But for you to call them dusty and whatever else you got them, I was like,
A little cringy.
that was just bad. That was just bad. But it's everything that happened after
After
that
the fact.
that she got fired from her job because of this. She even came on and did a two-part apology for the presentation of the video. Not,
No, no, not what I said. Because I
yeah,
said what I
but,
said.
but the presentation in what she said, and it's still, that still wasn't enough for motherfuckers. And so, you know, I just, my heart goes out to her because I've been, keeping up with her and, and things like that. And she's still, I mean, it's still new and it's still fresh, but, she has some things that she's putting in place, which I do believe she will have a private practice. And,
Yeah.
if she does, I would definitely, definitely happy for her and, want her to flourish and, continue to be able to help people. But I think that it is so sad that we as Black people show our ass.
When we don't need to.
And, there was just because your feelings were hurt did not mean that you needed to throw a temper tantrum and call this woman's job and have her fired.
Mm-mm.
That's the part that really hurt me the most is that y'all threw a temper tantrum. Disagree with her all you want, but what if somebody got you fired from your job and starts texting and calling death and making death threats?
It ain't too funny then, now is it?
Mm.
So my thing is about the her presentation of the video. It's not always what you say, it's how you say it. I'll leave it
Mm.
at that. What happened after the fact was a lot of unnecessary shit. Because how she said it was wrong, but you have to agree with what she said was true.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people do not want to take that accountability and do that self-reflection. Um do you know how hard it is to find a really good black therapist?
Shit, I know.
So I feel for her clients
Hmm.
because they were more than likely receiving some really, really good help.
Yes.
Some really, really good help. And it really hurts my heart that another woman put her information out there like that.
Like,
Like that is not something that we need to do. Why can't we just have like a come to Jesus meeting and just sit down and speak the grievances? Why do we have to take the extra extreme step? Like why do we have to go from 0 to a million in one setting? You know, um, I don't know, and it's sad because a lot of people they just don't want to know or hear the truth.
mm-mm.
They don't. So, um, hopefully she does start her own practice or whatever, find someone else to work for. But again, like I said, the presentation wise
She's gonna
could
start
have
her own practice. Like
okay, cool.
she said that
That
she's
probably would be for the best.
yeah, she don't need to be working under nobody. She needs to
Yeah.
have her own practice and run her own shit. And I totally agree. I just my heart goes out to her because nobody deserves that.
No.
And because what we do as therapists, it is a hard job to sit and listen to people's troubles and to help them through those things
Hmm.
when so many people have been through trauma and a lot of them don't even know or they have forgotten or it's popped up and it's like I totally forgot about that or you're running them through some type of therapy where, they're processing and that comes up and they've been pushing it down their whole life or they forgot about it or didn't even know it happened, but their brain is like, yep, it happened. And, or they're having dreams about it and they're like, I don't know if it's real or fake. And it's like, okay, whether it's real or fake, let's process it because your brain is attached to it in some way. But, I feel for her and my heart goes out to her, but yet I am excited for where for the opportunity this brings for her to grow and to be in a position where you learn from this, that you just can't go on social media, just talking about people. And, like you gotta come with, especially being in a profession like this, you really truly can't just say, when you're talking about that, you can't just say whatever you want to say and think, oh, it's going, you know, I'm gonna come out okay. Like, nah. That's why for me, like, I do my best to be respectful of people and not call, and not, speak bad about anybody. I do my best to be mindful of that, because I know I know that there's a certain way that I have to carry myself, and I'm gonna always do that, because I don't work too motherfucking hard. I don't work too motherfucking hard
Yeah,
to get the degrees I have, the licenses, the trainings. I worked my ass off for
and it
all.
wasn't easy.
Was not motherfucking easy. Wanted to quit so many times, and I'd be damned if I let anybody come in between me and my shit. Now I may, go and get another career, but I'ma always have therapy on the side,
Right.
because I worked my ass off for that.
Why not?
Like, no, like fuck that. So that's my take on it. My heart goes out to her, and fuck the woman who wrote an article and put a business out, and put her personal business out there, and everybody who was throwing their little kitty temper tantrum about what she said.
Yeah.
Um, I hope y'all learn a lesson, and I hope y'all can, at some point, that you will reflect on this, put yourself in her shoes, and see how you would feel
Hmm.
losing losing your job,
Yeah.
and having death threats, and all this other shit. But and I do hope that those of you who threw the temper tantrums, I hope you go get you some therapy. I really hope you do.
Because
And
clearly you need it.
you need it. Oh, you need it. You do.
Clearly.
I definitely hope that you do that. Um, but I'm gonna continue to stay in my lane and do what I do, and be respectful, and not be on here talking. Not be on any social media. You know, talking bad about nobody. You know.
So that what you just said prior to kind of gives segue to our professional woke.
Okay.
All right. So I got it. It's a question.
Okay.
It's a question. Are you ready? Do you feel successful? And how do you define success?
Ooh. Um. So first, I define success as being able to reach your goals no matter how you get there, and being able to stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you may waver a little bit, you still stick with it and you do it. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you take a break, you still have in mind, I want to do that. That's what I'm going to do. No matter what the steps are, no matter how you get there. Um, and that goes not just for a career or professional um, part of your life, but even in your personal life, being able to have goals and do what you got to do to reach them, no matter how easy or hard it is, and being able to stay the course and do those things. Now, am I successful taking money out of the equation? Yes. I do believe that I have reached a certain amount of success in my life, where when I was a kid, I wanted to get a bachelor's degree. I got that. I wanted to get a master's degree. I got that. Um, when I actually figured out what I wanted to do with my life, I knew I was gonna need a license for that. I got that. I'm now in the process of reaching part one of my ultimate goal, which was to have my doctorate degree. I'm in the midst of doing that. And the next part of that is going to get my license to be a psychologist. That's going to happen. Um, my ultimate goal is to have my own mental health facility.
Mhm.
And now here's the thing. If that part never happens, I would still deem myself as successful because I can decide not to do that anymore.
True.
Because we make the decision on what we do and how we choose to do it and all of that. So for me, as long as I'm continuing to reach goals, no matter what that looks like, whether my goals change, that's success. You know, um, and even in my personal life, are things great? No. But I do have a certain amount of success where I am more aware of my shortcomings and
Mhm.
I'm doing my best to do what I need to do to 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 handle those and, for lack of a better phrase, fix those things. And even though I, talk about all the struggles that I have, I know that struggle is a part of success. It just is. And I'm aware of it. I know it. Am I okay with it? No, because I don't like the way it feels. But I know it's a part of my process. So I do believe that I am successful. Um, and everybody has to define success for themselves. I don't define success the way society does, which I don't even know
Okay.
what I don't even necessarily know, like, what that even is, that
Okay.
society believes is success. Look, I mean, well, I have an idea of it, but I don't um I don't prescribe or subscribe to that. Like, have whatever, whichever word you. I just that's nah. I just believe that success is defined by each individual person,
Okay.
and that's my definition. It's just you set your mind to do something and you do it, even if you end up changing it. You
Okay.
still complete whatever that is.
Okay. So for me, I don't believe in success. And here's why. How I grew up, how I was conditioned and trained, success was always that word where when you're successful, you have quote unquote arrived. And I never want to arrive anywhere. I want to always keep evolving,
Mhm.
keep changing. I never want to allow my success to overrule my perception of what my happiness is.
Mhm.
So, success for me is pretty much a construct of the mind. I always want to just continue to change. And I think sometimes maybe the word success has been intimidating because sometimes you have to, it's like you're picking between being successful versus your happiness or your peace. And
Yeah.
I don't want to do that for me because like I said, as I grow older and just really fully break down myself, I always want to choose my peace and happiness over everything.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much that's a short version of my perception
Mhm.
of how am I successful? I say that I've done some things that I never thought I would do, if
Mhm.
that's how people would define it. I went to college like you did. I got a bachelor's, and then I decided I wanted to get a master's. I got a master's, and I've worked in corporate. I don't even know if I would consider my job now be like a corporate America job. I don't know, but anyway, I worked in higher ed, and I've done a lot of things that a lot of people my age have not done. So if they want to measure that being successful, then I guess I am. But ultimately, defining success, I just don't believe in it. I'm always changing, I'm always evolving, and that's how I want to be.
I mean, and I think that, if if you go by what society says is success, then I get it. But I think for you, like, you're defining for yourself what success looks like. I
Hmm.
mean, because you know, if we were to
The Webster definition of it.
and go to the Oxford Dictionary, success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose, or the good or bad outcome of an undertaking. So if we just look at the first, like the second one, that's an archaic
Yeah.
definition. Um, but if we just go with the first one where it says the accomplishment of an aim or purpose, um, that to me solidifies what I said success is for me.
Hmm.
And going in it with that mindset, Pearl, you're
I know.
successful.
Yeah.
Like, you are.
Yeah.
And um because otherwise, what are you gonna call reaching your goals? What are you gonna call doing the things that you set out to do, even if there was a change or something added? Most people like it's just this living life. Yeah, but it's called success. Successful don't mean that we out here living large and all of that.
No.
Because even them living large people, you
Because
know,
it's the small things though, right?
it's those small little bitty things that get you to that point. And so, you know, um, even when you have arrived, you still gonna learn and grow and change and arrive into something else. So, you know, yeah.
Okay. Anything else to add before we close out the segment?
Um, no, I think that I think that we have said our piece on
Mm.
some things. By the way, beautiful nails.
Oh, girl, yeah, I got the French tip.
Mister, that's beautiful. I don't look jacked up. I don't care. But we have said our piece. We have made our points, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
I think it was a success. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to our essential detox, a detox that you didn't even know that you needed. We will see you all in the next segment. Have a beautiful, blessed day and peace, love, and we are out.